So we got us an Abbey beer here. Yeah. And I'm supposed to drink it fairly warm. It's probably a little bit warmer than even between 8 and 10 degrees Celsius, but let's see. It shouldn't matter too much with this one. There we go. Okay, so, well, the head on this beer is looking a lot like the Trappist Rochefort 8 that I got with this goblet with. Fits one of these beers 330s perfectly. Whiskey mix. Coke, Ryan Coke. That's what we got. This is 6.8% authentic since 1074. So Affligem, authentic Belgian Abbey, tells the address here and blah 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 blah. Affligem Abbey Ale is being brewed in Belgium according to an old method since 1074. Well, there you go. So the head on here is really dense enough, really getting creamy. You know what I mean? Looking good. Almost Guinness-like. Yeah, just you can't get away from that Rye and Coke, almost like bourbon and Coke too, aroma. That's all that I'm associating with that aroma. You can even smell the sweetness the same as you would out of the Coca-Cola or whatever. Man, that head on there is just getting nice though. So I'm not seeing, there's a little bit of carbonation. Okay, we're getting a little bit of licorice, a little bit of fruitiness, just straight out flat malt, crystal malt, almost like a malt extract, like if you were to taste pure malt extract from a beer kit. Very similar there. Wow, it's pretty good though. Like usually when a beer tastes like Coca-Cola at all, I'm pretty pissed off about it. But this one has the real maltiness. When you actually taste it, you're just tasting the malt more or less. Similar flavors to the Trappist Rochefort 8. That little bit of licorice. I'm stuttering tonight, sorry, but I'd say it's a pretty good beer. I don't think I had to pay too much for it. I bought several Belgian beers, so if you want to check out some more, a lot of Abbey beers actually, so good prices at beer store in Lethbridge, Andrew Hilton. And I'm do a couple shout outs here. Albino Rhino Beer Review says wants everyone to show their bottle openers, so I only got a few, but so I may as well do that, but I may as well shout out the stores as well. Wine Cavern, privatized liquor store in Lethbridge has a beer room with over 1,000 beers in it. Probably the best beer room in Lethbridge. Excellent selection, a lot of great imports and stuff like that. And Everything Wine and More. It's a franchise we got out in Vancouver, Edmonton, Lethbridge, and maybe somewhere else. So this is just an opener here that I like, because I like to drink wine too. So I got the corkscrew, and pretty solid. And this one here, which I bent, but this one is Alexander Keith's. Yeah. And the Bud Light Lime, which I use for all my reviews. And my drumstick. Big drumstick, so I'm not a cap saver, but if you want to save caps, drumstick, way to go. Oh, the aroma, so much rye and coke out of it. When you drink it, you get a lot of pruny, what was I saying before? Very sticky. A little bit of maybe like a licorice-like flavor, pruniness, maltiness. Or no, it's pretty simple. It's very light body, it's a light body. It's a heavy beer, but it's kind of got it's thin in a way too. It's really sticky in that thickness and heavy in the flavor, but like thin in the mouthfeel. Weird, I know. So I like these real well-made Belgian beers just fine. They're just not something I would drink all the time, but I'll take that into consideration for sure. Not a daily drinker for me, but every once in a while I like to have a Belgian beer. And this one I'd say I'd prefer the Trappist Rochefort 8 a little bit. This is a little bit heartier, a little more full and rich. Yeah, this one's just a little bit lighter bodied. So if you think you like that, but in a thinner beer. But all in all, they're pretty close to quality wise. They're very similar. I just prefer a little bit heavier. But this one is actually making me feel nice because it's like a lighter beer. It's not so heavy, and I've been drinking a lot of heavy beer lately, so I don't mind this one. Redness. Yeah, it's just the Coca-Cola and whiskey kind of flavor associations, which you can get out of a lot of these Belgian beers. This one only at 7.8, I believe. Or 6.8. So how is it coming off like whiskey at that ABV? I don't know, but it is. See for the headshot one more time. So that's what we got. A little half moon there. Yeah, very thin mouthfeel and kind of fruity. Kind of a bit of I'll say maybe a mix between like a raisininess and maybe even a fresh berry. Like there's a little bit of like fruit juice, as if you had like maybe a little bit even cranberry juice in there. Very similar to something like that. Well, all in all, I'm gonna give it. I'll give it 9 3/4 out of 11. It definitely has the quality. A lot of people would probably really find this interesting. It is very unique. I've never had a beer exactly like this. Pretty cool. Not something I'd want to drink all the time, but it's something I pick up maybe once a year or something like that, every 6 months. Just as a once in a while treat, it's an excellent beer. They did have a best before and bottling date or whatever on the thing, although I can't understand it because it's from Europe. I think it's December 5th, 2013, and that's probably when they bottled it. Unless this is expired, I don't know. So check out Albino Rhino's beer reviews, because he has a chat every week as well, if you're into people just shooting the shit for about 4 hours. And so he's usually the call out if you're not familiar on that channel. You probably are. Says show off all the bottle openers, so if you got a collection, maybe do it. You know what I mean? My bottle opener collection is pathetic, but I'm going to do a separate video and possibly, or just post this one, whatever. Depending how ambitious I am, Beerzerker, and I'm out! Yeah!